The city's skyline was a testament to human ambition, a collection of glass and steel giants that Adam, a talented architect, had always admired. From his 30th floor office, he had a prime view of the urban sprawl he was helping to shape. His latest project, the Al-Noor Tower, was set to be his masterpiece, a beacon of innovative, sustainable design. For months, it had been his world, consuming his days and nights. He was a man who believed in blueprints, in calculated risks, and in the power of his own two hands. His faith, while present, was often like the skyline at night. A series of familiar lights in the distance, beautiful but not always closely examined. The news came on a Tuesday, delivered in a sterile, apologetic email. Due to a sudden market shift, the investors were pulling out. The Al-Noor Tower was cancelled. Indefinitely. The words blurred on Adam's screen. The silence in his office was suddenly deafening, broken only by the frantic thumping in his chest. In the weeks that followed, the dominoes fell with brutal efficiency. The project's collapse led to downsizing, and Adam, the lead architect, was made redundant. The man who built towers felt like he was living in a house of cards. His days, once structured with meetings and site visits, became a formless void. He sent out dozens of applications, his portfolio gleaming with past successes, but the market was tight. Polite rejections trickled in, each one a small chip at his once solid foundation of self-belief. He grew irritable. The easy laughter he shared with his wife, Layla, replaced by a tense silence. His 5-year-old son, Sami, would ask him to play, and Adam would wave him away, his mind lost in a fog of anxiety and what-ifs. His prayers became a source of frustration. He would stand on the prayer mat, but his mind would be racing, calculating bills, replaying the email, and questioning. "Why me, Yalla?" he'd whisper, the words tasting like ash. "I am a good person. I work hard. Why is this happening?" He felt like he was sending messages into a void, with no reply. One evening, Layla found him staring blankly at the city lights, the very view that once inspired him. She sat beside him, not with a lecture, but with a simple question. "Adam, do you remember the story of Hajar?" He gave a slight, bitter laugh. "Running between two hills in a desert. My situation feels a little more 21st century." Layla's voice was gentle. She was alone in a barren valley with her infant son. No job, no savings, no city, no one. She ran, doing her part, but did the water spring forth because she was a geological expert? Or did it appear from a place she never could have expected, right at her baby's feet, by the will of Allah? Her words didn't solve his problems, but they planted a seed. That night, unable to sleep, Adam found himself in his study. He pulled a Quran from the shelf, its weight unfamiliar in his hands. He didn't know where to look, so he just opened it. His eyes fell on a verse in Surah Al-Talaq, "And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out, and will provide for him from where he does not expect. And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." Quran 65 banding 2, -3 from where he does not expect. The phrase echoed in his mind. He had been expecting a solution from the places he knew, from his contacts, his old firm, the top recruitment agencies. He had been relying on his resume, his reputation, his own efforts. He had been running between his own two hills of Safar and Marwa, LinkedIn and his email inbox, expecting a spring to gush forth from them. He had forgotten to truly, deeply rely on the Lord of Hajar, the Lord of the worlds. This was the beginning of a shift. It wasn't a lightning bolt, but the slow, quiet dawn of a new understanding. He realized his tawakkul, his trust in God, had been conditional. He trusted Allah to bless the plans he had already made. He hadn't trusted Allah to have a better plan altogether. His prayers changed. Instead of a list of demands and questions, they became conversations. He started with shukr, gratitude. "Thank you, Ya Allah, for my health. Thank you for Layla. Thank you for Sami. Thank you for the skills you have given me, even if I'm not using them right now." It felt awkward at first, but soon he found that his list of blessings far outweighed his list of problems. He started focusing on sabr, patience. He read about the prophet Yusuf Joseph, who was left in a well, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years, all before being raised to a position of great power. His own few months of unemployment felt infinitesimally small in comparison. Patience, he learned, wasn't passive waiting. It was active endurance, maintaining faith and good character while in the midst of a trial. With his new mindset, his actions changed. He stopped frantically checking his email 100 times a day. He took Sami to the park, his laughter no longer a distant echo. He helped Layla with chores, finding a quiet joy in the rhythm of a shared life. One afternoon, he saw a flyer for a community workshop, teaching basic drafting skills to underprivileged youth. On a whim, he volunteered for a few hours every Saturday. He wasn't Adam, the failed architect. He was just Adam, showing a teenager how to hold a T-square, how to see the beauty in a straight line, how to imagine a structure and bring it to paper. He wasn't designing a skyscraper, but he was helping to build a young person's confidence. And it felt more rewarding than any project he had ever led. About a month later, he received a call. It was from the father of one of the teens in his workshop, a man who owned a small familiar construction firm. He had heard about Adam and was impressed by his character. "We don't build glass towers, Mr. Adam," the man said, his voice warm and genuine. "We build community centers, small clinics, affordable housing. It's not glamorous, but it's needed. We need a man with your skill and, from what my son tells me, your heart." The salary was less than what he used to make. The office didn't have a skyline view, but as Adam listened, he felt a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. It was an opportunity from a place he never, ever would have expected. That evening, Adam stood on his prayer mat. The city lights twinkled outside, but this time, he wasn't looking at them. His focus was inward. He realized that the difficult times had been a gift. They had been a faith reminder, a divine interruption to his life's blueprint. Allah had canceled his tower of glass and steel, only to help him build a foundation of faith that was infinitely stronger, a structure that no market shift or economic downturn could ever shake. He was still an architect, but he now understood that the most important structure he would ever build was his own soul.